For cheap gold, items and other boosts for Diablo 4, visit aoeah.com. Check out the link in the description, you get 3% off with the code ARIAT. Hello and welcome everybody. As you can see, my Fire Lightning Sorceress continues to prove her worth, which is why I'm presenting my mid-game setup in this video. First, let me address two things I probably should have mentioned in the first video, though they might seem obvious. Of course, we can also play the build more defensively, and especially on maps with very fast monsters, it's definitely a good idea to be careful. For instance, you can preemptively send sparks into unexplored areas or make advantage of the environment. In narrow corridors, the sparks cluster because they got no other way, hitting approaching enemies with a large number of projectiles. The second point is the energy shield. As you can see from the intelligence requirements, armor pieces with energy shield are intended for this class. It works similarly to the barrier in Diablo 4. As long as the character has energy shield, damage is absorbed by the shield instead of your life. The shield is represented by the blue ring around your health globe. Think of the energy shield as an extension of your life points, which automatically regenerates when not taking hits anymore. You are only at 100% when the shield is fully restored, so it's best to engage enemies only when both your life and shield are full. This way you go quite safe. This approach is also very helpful in boss fights. I only attack the boss when I have energy shield. If the shield gets low or my life points even take a hit, I go defensive and dodge everything until my shield is fully restored. Of course, I also try to avoid getting hit in the first place. This strategy allowed me to complete the boss fights in Act 2 and 3, in some cases barely needing to use life potions. Now let's look how I have continued to develop the build. We can see some changes with the skill gems. Firewall no longer has support gems. The sparks get Arcane Tempo, Pierce and Arcane Surge. Arcane Surge grants a buff that increases cast speed and mana regeneration. However, we won't need this gem anymore once our class specialization becomes available. More on that in a moment. I also skilled the two resistance breakers Flammability and Conductivity. These allow you to curse monsters for a short duration, making them take more damage from the respective element. However, only one curse can be active at a time, unless you have taken specific notes in the passive tree. I mostly use Conductivity, but in general only during boss fights. Other skills are optional. I've experimented with Fireball or Ball Lightning. There are a few changes in the passive tree as well. Once you've completed the first trial, you can choose your specialization. And we are going with the Flame Weaver. By the constant Gale node, we permanently gain the Arcane Surge buff and no longer need the gem. Additionally, the effect of Arcane Surge is further enhanced later, scaling with your maximum mana. Let's remember, Arcane Surge grants cast speed and mana regeneration. Down at the start, I removed the small damage nodes and instead took the energy shield nodes. I also activated Dampening Shield and Rapid Recharge, making the shield recharge sooner and faster. You'll find similar nodes in multiple places on the tree, and I recommend choosing them based on your personal skills and playstyle. Very skilled players will manage the game with less energy shield. For others, it may be better to invest in some more shield nodes. You might also have noticed that the build is currently more lightning focused, as I've removed Path of Flame and Breath of Fire, but I plan to get them back later. Thanks to Arcane Surge and Arcane Tempo on Sparks, we now have enough cast speed even without the extra nodes. That's why I have temporarily removed them. Of course, more cast speed is always better, and I will test if it makes sense to maximize it. If it does, we'll definitely have plenty of options on the left side of the tree. But instead I have taken Touch of the Arcane for now, which also boosts cast speed, and I aim to quickly reach the lightning notes at the very top, Pure Power and Electric Amplification. On the way there I've already used 2 jewel sockets, so the plan is to grab the lightning notes at the top, if necessary improve the energy shield by further nodes, then focus on more damage and cast speed again. My Sorceress didn't have any gear upgrades for a while, but preferred affixes to boost damage are additional spell damage and extra skill ranks, ideally for all skills. Increased lightning damage and skill levels for lightning only benefit one of our elements, but Sparks is our main damage dealer. Additional cast speed and faster mana regeneration are also helpful, and resistances still remain very important. Your armor pieces should ideally have as much energy shield as possible, and extra mana and life are always welcome. Despite my gear being outdated and significantly below my character level, the Sorceress is still progressing quite well, but I'll make sure to get some new gear soon. I wish you a nice Sunday, take care, and may the loot be with you.
Follow me. Thank you. Goodbye.